is money. Let's not get away from what this tends to be about, money. Do you realize that that campaign earned $9 per second that it was active? And a large portion of that was online. It was no longer about the tea parties with the wealthy Hollywood elite. It was about $5 here, $3 here, and that's the type of reaction we're looking at now, isn't it? That viral, global, starts a little bit here, and then suddenly it is this movement that everyone knows about it. And the other thing is, it was direct. I remember that one day that was particularly, we followed trends all of the time. What were we doing? What was happening? In my particular world was the website of this campaign. So I worked with blogs and New York Times Online and, Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn, and we would watch what did we do and how did numbers go and did traffic go up and all of these metrics and everything. And one day that was a particularly momentous day for us is when we had a blog on BarackObama.com and people were like, oh, I don't like this and I don't like this and I think you shouldn't have said this and you shouldn't have said this. And it was like 300 people that were on there that were just complaining, as they had a right to do. I mean, that's the entire point of this beautiful system that we have. And so they're like, oh, what do we do? Do we issue a statement? Do we do this? No, Barack got online and he responded. Probably on his BlackBerry, I think, if I recall correctly. He's like, I get what you're saying, but this was my point on why I felt like this. I can see that this really upset you guys, so I'm going to issue a YouTube statement later today to clarify my point. I hope you can understand my position. Now, whether or not people change their minds about that particular position is really irrelevant. The topic becomes irrelevant. The point is that this gentleman, who became the President of the United States, took the time to respond to people. He took the time to talk back to these people that had a concern. So who are you, Mr. Corporation, or who are you, Mr. Customer Service Rep, to not return my phone calls, to not talk to me? We as a people, whether we realized it or not, began to demand more. We wanted more from our corporate leaders, we wanted more from the brands, we wanted more of that person-to-person interaction. So ironically, the technology caused us to want people more. And you all have felt that. I mean, you get tired of the 1-800 numbers and, we've all been there. So how does this translate to what you're doing? Because politics and business are in some ways very different, but in a lot of ways, sadly, and I have stories and stories, maybe over the bar later we'll talk about them, where they're very, very similar. Well, here's what you're looking at, the benefits to you. Number one, this communication is free. Absolutely free. Every tool you're going to use, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, they are free, which means they're accessible to everyone. They are instant, which is why newspapers and television shows and even radio shows are having trouble keeping up right now. Because until my newspaper at the end of my driveway can change with the scores as they update through the day, myself especially because I am a sports nerd, then until that happens, this is not of use to me. I want information now. So when you say, hey, there's an event going on, I don't need a 3-day lead time. Hey, there's something happening tonight. Get on it. I will be at the Marriott in Tampa Bay right here talking about ShopBest. Be there. Right now, tonight. It's instant. The other thing is, it's powerful. Let's talk about some other headlines besides politics. Let's talk about world affairs for a second. Okay? The gentleman that landed in the Hudson. We're all familiar with that story. Who was there first? It wasn't CNN, it wasn't Fox. Twitter was there first. What does that mean? It means you were there first. Someone was right there and said, hey, I'm watching this happening. On the plane, people were like, I'm safe, they're getting us off now. Right then. People were going to Twitter to find out if their loved ones were okay, how bad was the crash, was the crash something with terrorism or was it not? People were going to Twitter for their information, not the news sites. The news sites were begging for Twitter feeds and webcam views and cell phone pictures just to have something to feed. They couldn't get there fast enough. But you can. You're right there where the news is happening. So what's happening was the next effect of that. Social media became something you could trust. It's no longer about bloggers like me in our pajamas at night writing the stories. People still think that, I have to say. People think that we just sit there in our pajamas. I wish. So it was about, this was a trustworthy source. Why? Because this source is you. Okay, so you've got all this happening, and that's all well and good. So let's talk about first the negative of social media. Just like we said, it's instant, it's powerful, anyone has access to it. It's instant, it's powerful, and anyone has access to it. And it does not delete. No matter what you do, it's out there. Ask Michael Phelps how that's working out for him. Michael Phelps, as you might know, had a friend of his, doesn't even have to be you, that posted a picture of him on Facebook with some paraphernalia, and there went, I think, his Wheaties contract, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, it's out there for everyone to see, much to many politicians' chagrin. The second thing is that, let's face it, networking online is just like networking. Picture when you walk into any kind of networking function, whether it's a home party, a chamber event, a networking association, some sort of group like this, you're going to meet people that you really connect with, that you really like, that have possibility to take you somewhere, and then you're going to meet some people that are really annoying. And that is the same online. They are just pushing out at you. Do for me, buy from me, here's a discount, me. Here's my card, do this. If you met someone like that in real life, you would turn around and just walk this way and say, oh, I see my friend, nice to meet you, and go this way. Well, that's what happens on social media. Hide, delete, unfriend, please don't communicate with me, restraining order, you know,